तो पहले तो I would like to apologize कि मेरा throat थोड़ा सा है, because like everyone in Bombay, I exhale CO2 and inhale construction dust. And I apologize because this is a little long, but you've been here long enough, thoda aur long. Okay, so it baffles me that people actually follow me. Like they interview me. People want to know about me, about what I think of things. They care to ask me how I'm doing, what I'm doing, and how I do it. You know, some even pay to come watch me talk rubbish. It's quite a luxury. No, but people ask me some wonderful things. And of all the questions that I'm asked, the toughest question is the one I'm asked the most, which is, Mallika, who are the women that you idolize? Kaun aapki prerna hai? Who inspires you? And I'm always like, ye kaisa question hai yaar? Matlab, I have nothing to say to them because there are no women that they know of. I mean, they know. They just don't know mine. They probably have their own list. It's just not my list. ये ना वो औरतें हैं जिनका नाम किसी 30 under 30 लिस्ट में नहीं आता, जिन्हें कोई यस क्वीन नहीं बुलाता, जिन्हें हम शाउट आउट नहीं देते, जो हमारे इन्वेस्टर नहीं कहलाते, जिनसे हम कोलैब नहीं करते, पर भगवान जानता है कि ये ना होते तो हम क्या ही कर लेते. So I just thought that as you come here today to hear me, you should hear about them. I'm very lucky, you know. People compliment me rather generously. They tell me they love how I love myself. But they don't know the story of the woman who taught me my first lesson in unconditional love. मेरी ताई जी, जिनका नाम था कांता, जिन्हें मेरे पापा और हम सब प्यार से कांता मम्मी बुलाते थे, because she was a mother to all of us. She loved all of us like a mother, including my mother. You know, back in the 80s when trending content was Devrani versus Jethani, Kanta Mummy would finish work, pick up my sister from school, feed her own children, look after my sister the whole day so that my all of 28 young mother, could go be a doctor, go be a somewhat social animal, go be the 100 things that she was, and then go be a mother again to another monster that Kanta Mummy loved more than she loved any of those people in the family. You know, you'll always find me feeding people, and you'll also find me not giving up on them very easily. It's because that's what she taught me. Then they tell me that I have great aesthetics. But how will they know the story of a woman named Shivani, my dear sister, from whom I learned to love life, color, and silver? She taught me how to combine magenta and orange and how to separate love and ego. You know, I mastered the former, but the latter I'm struggling with. She taught me to see beauty in the timeless, and she taught me that no home decor can beat the beauty of black and white pictures of your family. She taught me to share everything good I ever received because that's what her mother taught her, that when women see abundance, they scatter it around like flowers. She also taught me that a stray flower in your hair is a better hairdo than any salon can ever provide. And above all, she taught me gratitude. As she breathed her last fighting for oxygen, she made sure she said thank you to me and to so many others as though it was us who taught her how to live and not the other way around. She sits now in heaven with her mother, my Kanta Mummy, and both of them are happily painting it magenta, orange, and all shades of love. Some say it's amazing how I'm such a boss. I smile and say thank you. But then I forget to mention my cousin Pallavi, who taught me what it means to take charge of my narrative. as she transcended her lack of privilege with hard work and funded herself and her sister through years of college in America, bought herself that home, bought herself that Tesla, bought herself those Chanel ballet flats, and she didn't just do it for herself, she did it for her mother as well, who found herself as a young widow in the 80s with 2 girls under the age of 10, but she never let them shrink themselves or their dreams even through the toughest of times. She taught me what it's to be a boss. She taught me what it's like to be a boss, Then they thank me for being candid about mental health and how it encourages them to do the same. But how will they know the story of a clinical psychologist, my older sister, who refuses to be named, obviously, who tried relentlessly for years till she successfully managed to turn a depressed but in denial monster into a strong, self-caring, therapy-loving, introspecting monster. They will commend me for surviving the past year, but they won't know that it was she that held all of us together, as she held within her her own grief and the grief of her clients. They won't know that the only breaks she got were the ones she had to take to feed her 2-month-old from that very body that carried all of that trauma, all of those scars, all of that ache and all of that love that had nowhere to go. I'm sure we all know women, right, who nurse their grief, their little babies, their work, their life, but never complain that their cup is too empty for anyone else. Then they tell me that I've built a brand for myself, and I love it when they say that. I just wish they met a woman I called Party, my mother's mother, who didn't exactly build a brand, never worked inside a cubicle, was married at 13, a mother to 7 children at 36, fitter than a runner, and commanding everyone till her 94th year on this planet. She never made a brand. She just made 2 doctors, 1 nuclear physicist, 3 teachers, 1 army man, and Mysore Pak that tasted like magic, I assure you. They tell me they love the friendship that Shweta and I share and that we are #goals. Then though they must know about a woman called Simar and her sister Sunena, who taught my mama sourdough baking during the lockdown. Well, it wasn't fancy enough to be termed work from home, so I just call it love from home. You know, my sister and I, we never met them, we didn't know them. All we knew was that my mother loved them. Cut to today, they are called Seema Nani and Sunena Nani by my nephew Jahan, who never got to see his actual Nani, his chinni party, but will know her love and her food through all the cupcakes and breads they cannot stop feeding him. We may no longer have a traditional family WhatsApp group, but we have one that's called Love, Sugar, Sourdough. And all hell breaks loose there if there are no daily updates on our health, on our whereabouts, on the little baby, his videos, our feelings, our outfits. But you know, no one would know this because I never gave them a shout out for it. I just did what I do with women I love. Take them for granted. And they did what women do with everything, from a sourdough starter to a broken person. Give it the warmth and time and love it needs. I told you this is a little long, so bear with me. They wonder how I managed to make a place in a cutthroat city like Mumbai and a brutal industry such as this. They don't know there's this woman called Anshu who came into my life randomly as an agent and has remained a guardian angel that looks out for me just as she looks out for her 6-year-old daughter, who she selflessly left behind, mind you, to be with me when my mother passed. Now we all know a good agent is relentless, right? And I saw that because that's what she proved as she cooked up a storm for my father who had no will to eat. She made the most stubborn man on earth listen to her, calm down, sit down and eat. Just as she used to make the most stubborn woman and artist listen to her and behave. Now you won't know this because ये मैंने अपने Humans of Mallika पे नहीं डाला था. I favorite one, of course, is you've lost some weight. Yeah, it's so nice to see you be so regular with exercise and take PCOS head on. I just flip my hair and I say thanks. But I should mention my coach Zoe. Yeah. She has a son, 4 dogs, a career online, a career offline, a 6-pack, a mean uppercut, and a lazy client who never manages to show up on time, a smile that never judges, and wait for it, no nanny. Yeah. You should also know of a young and wise nutritionist called Raksha who makes her mother cook food for me so that I don't order out and eat junk. Some tell me to be proud of how I got to look after my parents and myself financially. I'm just proud that I know these 2 crazy women called Smithal and Soumya, agents, managers, and savage memers who taught me to know and demand my value, never give in at the first step of a negotiation, always take interest in the legal stuff, and make that money. They though went a few steps ahead and took it upon themselves to make back every penny that I spent on hospital bills, so I never fear my present or future, whether or not we work together. I don't give up on me because they don't give up on me. They just don't give up on me. It's really annoying, I think they love to clean up a good mess. Like, all you need to know about them is that when my mom passed, I was consoling them. Then they say, yaar, we love your positive attitude and your Delhi swag. Then though they must meet a woman called Akanksha I went to school with. They'll know where I get it from. What they won't know, however, is the number of days I spent in her home to escape the emptiness of mine as she gave me bottomless cups of chai and hugs. They tell me they feel okay in their skin when they see me. They don't know that a woman called Dipti makes me believe I am Aishwarya Rai. Or that a woman called Aradhna makes me feel like I'm the sweetest little muffin on the planet. Or that a woman called Shweta is my friend with benefits. The benefit being endless growth, endless travel, and endless cuddles. They also don't know that a South Bombay Parsi babe/tyrant named Amy monitors my glucose spikes and mood swings as though my mother has appointed her to. They don't know any of this, man. Because I never say it. It's a long list, now there's a little more, thoda sa. They won't know about Delhi wali Pallavi, who foolishly drove to my house in the middle of the second wave when she was 9 months pregnant. Because I needed a mother, she almost risked becoming one. They won't know that Bombay wali Pallavi was in labor and on oxygen as she organized chana masala for my papaji, who was being a difficult grieving patient to his grieving daughters. The women who inspire us to become our best selves, they don't always find mentions in publications, stories, shout-outs, or biopics. You will not find these women sitting face to face with a podcast mic in between them discussing and dissecting the concept of love and the sociogenomics associated with or whatever, because they're too busy doing all the field work. They are the blueprints and the material that no one remembers to admire once the building is ready, as though the building could have ever existed without it. Also, I should clarify that my mother doesn't find a mention in this piece because ये इंसानों के बारे में भगवानों वाला हम next time करेंगे. Possibly be one of the more ordinary and unremarkable women that I know. I just happen to have better marketing skills. I truly believe that. I have plenty of witnesses to my struggles and wins, to patiently hear the bits I magnify and quietly sense the bits I minimize, unlike the women that made me. But I'm trying now every day, in small ways, to be more like them. When I was little, all I wanted to be was hot and popular. As I'm growing older, I realize all I really want to be is warm, loving, and grateful. And that's it. So, in conclusion, the next time anybody asks me two of my favorite questions, 1, Mallika, who inspires you? I'll send them a link to this because this is too long to tell someone again. And And then if they ask me, so Mallika, what are you working on these days? I'll let them know that I'm working on the two endangered arts of unconditional love and the perfect Mysore Pak. Happy Women's Day!